Hello everyone. So the other day I ran into a race condition in React. What's a race condition, you ask? It simply is a situation wherein your asynchronous code is taking random delays and you need to handle that random delay. So for example, let's say you are making an API call for getting the name of a country based on its capital. Now, you fire first for, let's say, Germany, and then Paris, and then Madrid. So three calls, one after the other, but it's the Madrid one which is resolved first. So in your case, though the user is seeing Germany, you would end up putting Madrid as a capital and vice versa. And the reason for that is that you are not sure of what time delay there is, right? I think it will be clear if I show you with an example. So for the sake of the example, let's have a look at a REST API, which is this restcountries.eu. You put in the name of the capital and it will tell you which country it is. So for example, Madrid, I have Spain. If I do Berlin, I will get Germany, and so on and so forth. So behind the scenes, this is the JSON which I get. It's an array, and I can always read the first value, which is the name of the country, and then print it. And I have already done so in a small project like this. Let's look at the source code. Nothing major about it. The source code would be up in GitHub. I will put the link below. You can download it and have a look at it. But basically, I have my button. I set the state for capital based on the button click. And also there is a useEffect to load the side effects. Excuse me. I call the load function, make an API call, get the JSON back, and set it to the country. Pretty straightforward. I cannot replicate my race condition with this piece of code because the API is pretty fast and I get the response back to show you what I mean. So that's the case. That's my application. If I click on Paris, Madrid, you see it's pretty fast. So whatever button I click, I get the right country back. Let's try to first mimic sort of a race condition. To do that, let's go back to my code, and over here I would say, you know what, implement me a set timeout function which should call this, which should set the state for country after a random delay, so that my second call, which is Paris, should happen some maybe before is resolved before my first call of Berlin is resolved. So I will put a random delay here, multiply it with how many did I use? 3, 4. I think that should be no. Let's do 4. So this is for this. This is for this. I close my set state and save it. Now, since it is a random delay behind it, let's see what is happening. So if I switch to my, let's go ahead. Let's refresh it. The initial is Berlin. Okay, I click on Berlin, Paris, Madrid, Paris, Berlin. Now look at what is happening. You see, though I clicked Berlin the last, but it showed me Spain, Paris. Now it again changed to Germany. Again, if I do Paris, Madrid, Berlin, I don't want to see all the other. You see, this should not happen. At any time, if I have to show, I should show whatever is clicked and not the previous values. So how to hide the previous values, how to handle this situation. Before we go any further, let's have a look at what exactly happens, how React handles the state changes and the use effects. So if you look at the screen, that's the left side is the React framework part and the right side is our component. And what is in the middle is what is the interaction. So the step 1, whenever the component is loaded, post the render, React will call the useEffect function to invoke any side effects we do want. In that case, in our case, it is set the country, which we do. And post that, our component also returns a cleanup function back to React. React stores that cleanup function. The next time there is a state change or there is any reason for React to load the component again, reload the component again, before making that call to useEffect, it will first call the previous cleanup function which it had stored over here. It will store that function, make all the cleanup, and then call the new re-render of the component of the useEffect, right? And that cleanup function is the return statement, this one. So what I could do in my case is to say, what I could do in my case is now to say, let cancelled is false initially, and then say if it is set the country only if my cancelled variable is not set to false, and then here that's the most important part, my callback, my cleanup function. I'm telling React, please set my cancelled to true. So that means the previous, so let's say first I clicked on Germany, then I clicked on Paris. So in this case, before the render of Paris, before the render of Paris, my return for Germany will be called, cancel will be set to true. So that means this code will never execute for Germany. To see if this is correct, let's save it, go to the screen, refresh it for a while, click on Berlin, Paris, Madrid, Berlin. I should only see Germany here. As you can see, all the requests have been resolved, so it is making the call, but I only see Germany. Cool. So the trick was, when I saw it, I was like, oh, what the hell? How am I ever going to solve it? But it was pretty clear. It was pretty easy to figure it out. That is because of the return statements. Now that I can use the cleanup function. The other approach to that is to use something called an abort controller. I will write the code over here. I will not execute it. Let's call it control. I could have done something like this. New abort controller. La, 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 la. Put it here. Let's put it there. And then I could have done something like control. I will explain the code in a minute, but let me write it down. Dot signal. Yes. Do this. Don't need this. Oops. Something of this sorts. And do whatever you want to do with it. What it means, what does abort controller do? It's, think of it as an object. It you get an object from it. You can pass that object to the fetch API like I'm doing over here. And anytime programmatically, I can set the controller object to abort. So that means whatever my fetch for that object was doing, just cancel it. I don't care. So I could have done something like controller dot abort. You see this function? So first I click on Germany, second I click on, let's say, Paris. As soon as I click on Paris, so the first time when Germany was clicked, my fetch API was already made, because I'm specifying the object over here. Second time I click on Paris, my cleanup function gets called. I abort the German call. So it gets aborted and I catch my error over here. I can do whatever I want, but the value that will be shown will be only for Spain or the second country. Why I'm not doing a demo, why I'm not showing it to you, because it's very hard to make set to make fetch and set timeouts work together, because set doesn't return a promise, fetch returns a promise. I tried a lot of things, but I couldn't make it work. By the way, I learned a lot just to try to replicate this scenario, and I will be making a video to take you through all the things I did to make this scenario work. Never got it working that case. But remember, this was only, I was trying to mimic a delayed call. That's why I was using set timeout. In your case, you can feel free to use abort control directly, because you will be depending upon the delay. In your case will be from the API and not because of the set timeout. Um, the other thing you might want to keep in mind is that a bot controller does not work with one particular browser. It's anybody's guess which browser it is. So I see you in the next video. I hope you liked it. It was informative. If it was, please hit subscribe and like and share my video. It means a lot to me to keep me motivated. Otherwise, I'll go back to the couch and eat chips. Bye bye.